I know that in this room and among those listening from afar, there are souls exhausted from having to constantly appear strong. There are unspoken cries. There are why questions, to which the answer seems to be the silence of heaven. Perhaps you feel lost in a mournful melody of life, where every note that rings out is nothing but weariness and despair. My heart goes out to those who are silently enduring pain, those who are trying to recover from wounds without finding a way out. I understand that loneliness and pain can become an invisible wall, separating us from the world and even from ourselves. But I want us to explore a liberating truth together. God does not demand a joyful song from us when our hearts are broken. He has given us a hymnal, and within it are even the notes of lament. The Psalms are not merely a book of beautiful praises, they also record the cries, the doubts, and even the deepest agonies of humanity. It is a safe space where you are allowed to bring all your chaotic emotions, your heavy sighs, and present them before the Creator. God listens. He does not turn away. And He gives us the language to express even our darkest feelings. We won't shy away from difficult emotions. Instead, we'll learn to transform our very sighs into a prayer, an authentic melody before God. The Unchanging Promise Psalm 34:18 states, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." This is a steadfast promise that in your weakest moments, God is there, right beside you. The story of overcoming. Think of King David, a man who experienced countless hardships. From being pursued and betrayed to personal failings, he wrote many psalms of lament, expressing his fear, anger, and even feelings of abandonment. However, through each of those psalms, he always found his way back to God, trusting in His faithfulness. It was David's raw honesty in his emotions that transformed his laments into a powerful testament of unwavering faith. A step of faith. This week, find a psalm that truly expresses your heart. E.g. Psalm 13, Psalm 42, and read it every morning. Now that we've found the initial notes to express our hearts, let's explore how the Psalms transform those laments into a powerful dialogue with God, leading us to a new symphony of security. Specifically, Psalm 91 opens a door to the Most High's dwelling place, an impenetrable fortress for those who choose to place their trust and hide under God's protective wings. This isn't just an empty promise, but a deep assurance of the comprehensive protection He provides for His children. Psalm 91, 1-2 declares powerfully, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." Imagine a completely safe haven, where no danger can reach you. That's the meaning of dwelling in the shelter of the Most High. This doesn't mean we won't face difficulties, but it means that even in danger, we have a firm foundation, protection from the most powerful being. When we declare our faith in God, calling Him our refuge and fortress, we are affirming a deep spiritual truth. He has the supreme power to shield and protect us from all harm, from the fowler's snare, and from deadly pestilence. The Unchanging Promise. Psalm 91:4 affirms, "He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." This promise is an unchanging keynote. an assurance of God's protection and faithfulness. The story of overcoming. Remember the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Although he was thrown into an extremely dangerous situation where death seemed inevitable, Daniel still trusted in God. His faith not only kept him safe from the lion's jaws, but also testified to God's protective power. He took refuge in the shadow of the Most High, and he fulfilled his promise. A step of faith. Whenever you feel fearful or insecure about something in life, declare Psalm 90, și 1:1-2. Say the words aloud, so your mind and heart are reminded of God's protection. Now, having absorbed the melody of protection in Psalm 91, let's move to another equally profound harmony, Psalm 23. This psalm brings us into the image of a gentle shepherd, who not only protects us from danger but also guides, God is for, and provides for all our needs. Even when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, this is powerful comfort for those facing trials, loss, or life's dark paths. Psalm 23, 1-3 begins, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake." The image of a shepherd leading his flock through green pastures and to quiet waters is a strong symbol of comprehensive provision and care. "I shall not want" is not a statement of material wealth, but an assurance that all our essential needs, physical, mental, and spiritual, are fully supplied by him. Even when our souls are weary, he refreshes us, restoring our strength and peace. He guides me along the right paths, shows that he is not just concerned with momentary comfort, but also with the right direction of our lives. Psalm 23:4 continues with a deeper melody. "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me." The darkest valley doesn't necessarily mean physical death, but rather periods of extreme difficulty, moments of despair, grief, or severe illness. The crucial point here isn't that we won't walk through such valleys, but that we won't walk alone. "You are with me" is the ultimate promise. His rod used for counting sheep and protection, and staff used for guidance, are symbols of protection, correction, and comfort. We can face anything knowing that the Good Shepherd is walking with us. The unchanging promise. Psalm 23:4 is the promise of God's unceasing presence, even in the darkest valleys, bringing comfort and dispelling fear. The story of overcoming. Consider Joseph, who experienced betrayal by his brothers, was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. His life seemed to be a continuous journey through the valley of the shadow of death. However, God was with Joseph in every circumstance, ultimately raising him to a position of power to save his people. Joseph's story is a powerful testament to God's guidance and providence, even in adversity. A step of faith. When you feel anxious or challenged, imagine God as the Good Shepherd, walking beside you. Take a deep breath and repeat, "You are with me. I will fear no evil." As the symphony of faith continues to resonate, Psalm 23 doesn't stop at leading us through the valley of the shadow of death, but also brings us to a surprising and glorious scene, a table prepared right in the presence of our enemies. This is a melody of victory, abundant provision, and honor that only the Good Shepherd can bestow. It shows that even in the presence of negativity, God's presence overwhelms and brings blessing. Psalm 23:5 describes, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." Imagine being in a situation surrounded by enemies, pressures, and challenges trying to bring you down. Instead of being overwhelmed, God prepares a lavish table for you. This table symbolizes the provision, peace, and prosperity God grants us, even when we're in the most difficult circumstances. This is a powerful testament to His power and goodness. "In the presence of my enemies" shows that God not only protects us, but also makes our adversaries witness the blessings He bestows. "You anoint my head with oil" is an act symbolizing consecration, blessing, and preparation for a divine purpose. It signifies God's favor and sanctification for us. "My cup overflows" speaks of abundance, not only materially, but also in peace, joy, and grace. This is a promise that God will not only sufficiently meet our needs, but will also give us abundantly, beyond expectation. This melody reminds us that even in the most intense battles, we can still experience God's provision and joy, the unchanging promise. Psalm 23:5 is the promise of God's abundant provision and honor, even in the midst of enemies. The story of overcoming. Consider the life of Job. He lost everything: possessions, children, health, and was alienated by his friends, even cursed by his wife. He was surrounded by pain and misunderstanding. However, Job held firm to his faith, and in the end, God restored to him double what he had lost. Job's story is a wonderful testament to the table in the presence of enemies that God can prepare for those who patiently trust Him. A step of faith. In the difficult circumstances you are facing, imagine God preparing a lavish feast for you. Thank Him for His provision and presence. Even when you can't see a way out, we've journeyed together through an emotional, musical experience. From the mournful notes of pain to the revelation of safe refuge in Psalm 91, and the gentle guidance and provision of the shepherd in Psalm 23. Now, we arrive at the powerful coda, where all the melodies harmonize, affirming the eternal strength of God's protection, goodness, and unceasing presence in our lives. Psalms 91 and 23 are not just isolated promises, but a complete symphony of God's love and faithfulness. Psalm 91, 14-16, and Psalm 23:6 are beautiful concluding notes, bringing a sense of completion and eternal peace. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him, I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Psalm 91, 14-16. And surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 23:6. These are promises of a happy ending, an assurance that our journey with God will lead to a safe place where we will experience His goodness and grace forever. Dwelling in the house of the Lord forever is not just about heaven later, but about living in His presence every day, experiencing peace and contentment right here and now, a declaration of hope now. Let's join together in this declaration, a commitment of unwavering faith, no matter what the melody of my life may be. Whether there are mournful low notes or discordant chords, I still believe you are the skillful conductor of my life. Even when I cannot see the light, even when I cannot clearly see the path ahead, I still believe you are my song, my comforting and illuminating melody for my soul. Lord, you are my strength, my steadfast fortress, and the wondrous psalm of my life. I trust in you, today and forever, an invitation to find rest. I invite you, right now, to come to God. Lay your burdens down at His feet. Allow Him to reharmonize the discordant notes in your soul, transforming your laments into authentic prayer, and filling your heart with peace that surpasses all understanding. He is the listener, the healer, and the one who can turn all sorrow into a triumphant anthem. Take refuge under His wings, and let Him lead you to the green pastures of peace and restoration. A blessing of peace and strength. May God grant you profound peace, transcending all worry and fear. May He grant you strength to stand firm in every trial. And may you always find joy and security in His Word. May your song of hope be renewed daily. And may your life always be a beautiful symphony of faith, glorifying His name. Amen.